Midday report. Some big news came out 3 days ago. You may not have heard about it, but it could have very long-term implications. I thought you should be aware, and thank you, Keith Evanberg, who comes through for me in so many ways in terms of giving me information that I might have otherwise missed. But here's the headline. Purdue to acquire Kaplan University, increase access for millions. Now, Kaplan University, many years ago, I think I took the LSAT via Stanley Kaplan. I took a course, and it was helpful, but it was in class, whatever. But then just 3 years ago, when I was married, I took the Illinois bar, even though I was already a member of the New York, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey bars, because my now ex-wife's family owned a lot of property in Illinois. It might have been helpful, and frankly, the passing the bar and getting admitted there is probably pretty useless to me. But one thing I learned from that experience was I was back home then in Maryland and studying via online materials via Kaplan. I guess it was Stanley Kaplan or the law school component or the law component. And I just said, wow, I can hit pause. The teacher is really good. They can just use this one teacher and the various other teachers and put them on for everyone rather than having to be in the classroom with one teacher. It just really made me appreciate online education. And since then, that was the key takeaway for me even taking the Illinois bar. But it's just changed the way I look at higher education, or I call it mockingly higher edumacation, because I think it's so anachronistic. I think it's such a scam. I think they're taking so many students' money, wasting what could be the best years of their lives, perhaps the most useful years of their lives, indoctrinating them, etc. You know the story with that. So let's get to the story. Purdue to acquire Kaplan University, increase access for millions. West Lafayette, Indiana. Purdue University announced Thursday the creation of a new public university that will further expand access to higher education. The initiative is meant to address two striking new realities: the need for post-secondary education for working adults and others unsuited to traditional campus study, and this is what I was mentioning before, the explosive growth of online technologies as a means of delivering education to students of all types. Now, this is a quote. Nearly 150 years ago, Purdue proudly accepted the land-grant mission to expand higher education beyond the wealthy and the elites of society, President Mitch Daniels said, a prominent Republican. He has a long political history in Indiana. We cannot honor our land-grant mission in the 21st century without reaching out to the 36 million working adults, 750,000 of them in our state, who started but did not complete a college degree, and to the 56 million Americans with no college credit at all. None of us knows how fast or in what direction online higher education will evolve, but we know its role will grow, and we intend that Purdue be positioned to be a leader as that happens. A careful analysis made it clear that we are very ill-equipped to build the necessary capabilities ourselves, and that the smart course would be to acquire them if we could. We were able to find exactly what we were looking for. Today's agreement moves us from a standing start to a leading position. To launch the new university, Purdue will acquire Kaplan University and its institutional operations and assets, including its 15 campuses and learning centers, 32,000 students, 3,000 employees, and decades of experience in distance education. All existing Kaplan University students and faculty will transition to the new university, which will use the Purdue name in some fashion not yet identified. Kaplan and Purdue share the critical mission of expanding access to education, said Donald E. Graham, chairman of Graham Holdings Company. NYSE symbol is GHC, the parent company of Kaplan Incorporated and Kaplan University. Purdue takes its land-grant mission very seriously, and I'm deeply impressed by this great university's commitment to meeting the needs of non-traditional students. The new university will be distinct from others in the Purdue system, relying only on tuition and fundraising to cover operating expenses. No state appropriations will be utilized. It will operate primarily online, but has 15 locations across the United States, including an existing facility in Indianapolis, I think that's IUPUI, with potential for growth throughout the state. Indiana resident students will receive a yet-to-be-determined tuition discount. Former U.S. Secretary of Education Warren Duncan, who's a big leftist, said, "I've always had great respect for Governor Daniels, and I'm excited by this opportunity for a world-class university to expand its reach and help educate adult learners by acquiring a strong for-profit college. This is the first, and if successful, could help create a new model for what it means to be a land-grant institution." Purdue currently serves students on 2 levels, its flagship campus in West Lafayette and at 2 regional campuses. One, I believe, is IUPUI in Indianapolis. The new entity will become a 3rd level in the Purdue system and will operate almost exclusively online. Betty Vanden Bosch, Kaplan University's current president, will become chancellor of the new university. The subsidy of Kaplan Incorporated will provide various non-academic services through a long-term transition and operations support agreement covering areas such as technological support, human resources, facilities management, and other administrative functions. Purdue and Kaplan share the ambition of enabling individuals of all backgrounds to benefit from a high-quality education, said Andy Rosen, Kaplan's chairman and chief executive officer. Purdue's tradition of excellence makes it an ideal party to build upon the progress and innovation that Kaplan University has achieved over the past 2 decades. We're proud to pass the baton to this esteemed university. The new university will formally begin operations upon approval from the U.S. Department of Education and the Higher Learning Commission. Purdue plans to take immediate steps to commence those approval processes. Both Purdue and Kaplan universities are accredited by the HLC. Then there's a link for the website and a little more info on Purdue and Kaplan universities, as well as Kaplan Inc. And I left you the link up there. I just want to include what Keith Levenberg, who made me aware of this, wrote about it. He wrote, "Instapundit linked this and called it huge. He's right. Everyone's been talking about the higher ed bubble, yet so far it has stubbornly refused to pop or even deflate. This is, where was that? This is the kind of thing that's going to pop it. The reason is that bubble prices for universities have been based on the value of the credential, not the value of the education, which is why it costs upwards of $75,000 a year to get credit toward a BA, but only a couple $100 to audit a class. Online learning tech has not managed to puncture the bubble because they offer the education without the credential. So what's huge about this is that the line between the credentializing respectable university and the declasse online campus just got a lot hazier. All right, thank you for watching.